I'm making a change today. The liquor been taking the pain away. I heard you was giving your chain away. That's kind of like giving your fame away. What's wrong with you? I sit in a box where the owners.
Yo, what's up, broskies? Keanu coming at you with a updated Scareclaw list. This should be dropping on Halloween, so happy Halloween if you celebrate it. I know it's just like candy holiday, but whatever. Thought I'd sleeve them up with these. I think these are like a limited edition run of Dragon Shield sleeves, and they're the Halloween. I don't know if you can see that little pumpkin boys, kind of crazy. So what we're gonna be doing for our 600 sub giveaway, we're gonna be giving away like 1 pack of these. You know, not as big as our last giveaway, but it's just a thank you for, you know, subscribing to us and sticking with us. And you know, also go check out some of our other videos other than deck profile. You know, we got like pack open and shit like that, but check those out. But I'm going into this is my updated Scareclaw list with the newest support from Darkwing Blast. You know, I know a lot of you have been waiting on that, so I will go ahead and say I've been testing out the Tri-Brigade build a little bit. I might drop that on the channel, just, you know, just depends. Like, you can comment down below if you want to see that. I've seen like the Tri-tier list. I might try one of those. You can let me know if you want to see one of those too. I'm not so big on that one. I just don't like, I don't know, they're just not a big fan, but this is with some new support, so I hope you like it. But remember, if you do, like the video even if you don't, just to help support the channel. Comment down below like what you would change, and I'll kind of go through like why some of the ratios are what they are, but I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. Also subscribe, because we're trying to get to 1K. We're almost there. So first up, one Vsauce Start Frost. This card's kind of nuts, but one's completely fine. Really in this deck, I really don't want to open it that early. Usually like it comes up like pretty huge in like later game situations, but it's pretty nice. It's a level 6 tuner, which opens up the extra deck a little bit. You know, we don't need the access code talker line. I mean, it was cool to have, you know, with the Hulk Celine combo. But Vsauce is pretty nasty. Just pops your Lightheart or pops one of your little baby doggos and brings himself on the field. He has a little battle effect, because when it destroys the opponent's monster or battle, you can make this card gain attack equal to half the original attack or defense, or whichever one is higher. It's your choice. But that came up like once. I did finish X1 at the last locals I went to. Only lost was against tier, but I'll kind of explain that as I go through. Next up, triple Scareclaw Reichard. I think this is the best one to search. You obviously want to see it turn 1, because he gets you to some of your broken spell traps. It's just pretty nuts. This card's crazy. So a normal or special summon, he just adds one of these Scareclaw cards, and obviously they can special summon themselves, like Mega Knight, stuff like that. Card's crazy. Next up, double acro. Yeah, I cut down the acros. I was running 3 of all of them. I had to cut it down just for space, and it's not as necessary. I don't even think I'm running. This is really similar to the list I finished X1 with this past locals, but I cut the Parallel Xyz. I was actually playing that in locals, but I'll explain it when I come up to the new support. Double Balone. He's the Piercer. I don't think I mentioned, but Acro is an attack boost, and all of them are relevant when you're swinging for game in turn 2, because usually turn 1 you're kind of shutting your opponent down, everything's a defense, and you just make a big push, end it. This deck can like repeat it over and over again. It's pretty crazy. Next up, we'll double Astra. You know, gets you up to like 4. I mean, the most I've ever swung for is like 4 attacks. Well, I guess that's all you can do, because there's only 4 different Scareclaw monsters, but pretty crazy. And next up for the Scareclaw package, triple Primitive Planet Reich Phobia. This card's broken. It's just a crazy spell card. Just search a Scareclaw monster or Vsauce. It drops your opponent's cards by 100 attack and defense for each defense position monster you control. Then if 3 or more defense position monsters are on the field, you just target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. It's just nuts. It does everything. It was my out to Mystic Minded region. It was out to the little It's out to that new tier trap card. You know, you can force the issue, force them to activate it. Right phobia is crazy. It's just pretty nuts. And then terraforming to get to it. I've been thinking about cutting terraforming because it's pretty easy to get to right phobia in the deck, but I mean it's basically four copies of itself, which isn't too bad. Because obviously you want to see this early and often. But next up for the Scareclaw package, double arrival. This card's crazy. It's better than branded opening in a way. It is branded opening in a way. So basically it's a monster reborn, targeted unfortunately for a Scareclaw or Vsauce. And then if a Scareclaw link monster you control be destroyed by a card or battle, card effect or battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. You can only use each effect, use this effect once per turn. So it's pretty nuts. And then for the traps of the Scareclaw Splash, this is your Omni Gate. Also lets you attack with your defense position Scareclaw monsters. And then the newest addition for support, Scareclaw Twin Saw. Now this card is insane, and it came up quite often. A lot of times, I was honestly like stuck in between. You know, do I want to search Splash or do I want to search Twin Saw? Because Twin Saw, basically what it says is you tribute one Scareclaw monster and target 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. And if you do, if you control Vsauce, Starfire, banish those destroyed cards instead of sending them to the graveyard. Also, the other effect is if a link 3 or higher monster is on the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard for the rest of the turn. Neither player can activate the effects of link monsters on the field. You can only activate one Scareclaw Twin Saw per turn. So crazy support. You only need one because it's super easy to get into. You shouldn't have to resolve multiples of these over the course of the game. The only Scareclaw spell trap you're really going to resolve over and over again is Arrival, and 2 is completely fine. Sometimes I want to do a 3rd, but I mean games don't last that long. Now for the newest support for the Scareclaws, Kashtira Unicorn ×3. So this is where the ratios are going to be a little questionable. So I used 3 unicorns because it's a free body, and it's the second best Kashtira monster. So basically, if you control any monsters, you special summon this card from your hand. You can only use each of the following effects of Unicorn once per turn. During your main phase, you can add 1 Kashtira spell from your deck to your hand. When this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can look at your opponent's extra deck, and if you do, banish 1 monster from it face down. This was my out to one of my tier matchups in my final round this past week. I declared battle, or he activated a monster effect. I think he ashed my Rykart, so I special summon Unicorn, normal summon Rykart. He ashed the Rykart, that's fine. Kashtira Unicorn, banished Kaleidoheart. That's the only out to, other than the super poly targets, that was the only thing my deck struggles against is that Kaleidoheart, because that card's nuts, and he was only running 1. I think most people only run 1. And then that was pretty much it for him in game 1. He just couldn't quite recover from it, but Unicorn is crazy like that. And it's just free. It's a free monster summon. And this is where the ratios are going to get even more interesting. Kashtira Finnerer, only 1 because I only have 1. And truth be told, at locals I was only running 2 Unicorn because I was only running 2 Unicorn, 1 Finnerer. But Finnerer is like broken. But the only time I ever drew him, obviously because he's one-off, is it didn't really like do what I wanted it to do. But when I get more copies, I'll probably switch ratios around a little bit, either run like 3 Finnerer or like something like that, 3 and 3. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. But basically, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use each of the following effects of Finnerer once per turn. During your main phase, you can add 1 Kashtira monster from your deck to your hand when this card declares an attack. Or if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls, banish it face down. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's pretty nuts. I think Unicorn and Finnerer are like really close, like in power level and like people just don't quite get it yet. Like I know Fenrir's like, it's like, you know, new age Pinker tops and it's broken, you know, it just, you know, it gets rid of stuff on field, but there's a lot of powerful one-ups in the extra deck, and you know, just having that knowledge, like Unicorn's pretty crazy. Obviously, I will eventually bump the Fenrir up. I'm not gonna keep rambling about that. Next up, only one Ogre. So Ogre's pretty good. It's honestly, use it more for like a free body, but adding the trap card is relevant. So you can add the trap card during the main phase, and then his other effect is when this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, except during the damage step, you can excavate up to 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck, banish one excavated card face down, and place the rest on the top of the deck in the same order. That's huge. That's huge, and it's super free and it's common. It's honestly just good. Like, I mean, if you can't, like, a really budget variant, like, honestly, like, because I know the unicorns are like $7-8 each right now. Fenrir is 60. Honestly, if you want to run this build, you could probably just run, like, it's probably not optimal, but Kashtira Ogre is just like super free. You could probably run like 3 of him if you really wanted to, if you couldn't afford the rest, and like one of the traps. But it's crazy. It's a free body, 2800 beater. I don't know, there's not much to say about it. It's just nuts. And then for my unicorn target, Kashtira Birth, you can normal summon one level 7 monsters. Wait, no, you can normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing. During your main phase, you can special summon one of your non-Xyz Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. That's kind of relevant because I do run a card to banish cards. If your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control a Kashtira monster, you can target 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard, banish them face down. It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. That card's nuts, but you only need one. You honestly only need one. Because if you open up this and know Kashtira monsters, it's a mega break. Kashtira preparations is the last of the spell traps. During either player's turn, you can special summon one of your Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your hand. If your opponent activates a trap card or effect, you control a Kashtira monster, and this card is already face up in your spell trap card zone, you can look at your opponent's hand, and if you do, banish one card from it face down. This card literally did not come up at all, but I'm not gonna be honest with you. I don't even think I read it before I put it in the deck that well, but it is pretty good and it does come up. But next up for the hand traps, triple DD Crow. I just think it's like one of the more impactful hand traps right now. You know, Ash is great too, but DD Crow is just pretty nuts. Speaking of Ash, double Ash, because it's still Ash. You know, hits the brand of fusion. It hits a lot of stuff. You know, it's just crazy. Next up, double Imperm. Imperm's pretty nuts. I don't know what it's like, but Imperm is just crazy right now. It actually won me a game or something. Triple Dark Ruler no more, just because I need that board breaker. You know, it depends on how my hand's sculpted. If I can one-shot you, if I can OTK you, like, I'm not gonna like throw it down or whatever, but you know, if you have like, you know, 3 or so negates, I'm just gonna Dark Ruler no more you, bro. Like, I can't even fool with you like that, you know. Next up, double Pot of Prosperity. Digs into your board breaker, digs into your negates. You know, if you add Splash, and then, you know, you can roll the die and Pot of Prosperity, try to get that Twin Saw, try to get that DD Crow, depending on your matchup. You know, just digs for board breakers. It's crazy. Next up, double Super Poly. I cut it down. I think last list I had 3. 3 was getting like entirely too bricky. I was like, had like 2 Super Polys in hand, and luckily I'm like one of the best players alive. So like, honestly, Super Poly kind of stays in my hand. And for last of the deck, which makes it 40, is one Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is nuts. It's just crazy. Called by the Grave is insane. It's one of the best cards in the game right now. That is it for the main deck. I'm gonna speed through the extra deck. Not a lot has changed, but triple Scareclaw Lightheart. it does everything you need. That's all you gotta, it really just does everything you need. As a fill spell, it can Monster Reborn itself, which is crazy. Next up, triple Tryhard. You do not need triple Tryhard. I just took out Appaloosa because I haven't really been going into Appaloosa, and I was like, well, you know, this is like probably not great logic, but I've only ever went through 2. There's never been a game like I've 1 and 3, but it's a nice pot of prosperity target, you know what I'm saying? Like, just know your matchup, right? Next up, Almirage. I still have it in there. I really don't quite know why. You could take it out because I don't run Parallel Exceed anymore. I thought about siding Exceed, but that would just kind of be silly. You can put Baron the floor right here. You can put the Sword Soul card. You can put another Synchro 9. You know, whatever your flavor is. Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Unicorn. Really, like these 4 right here are really becoming like my prosperity targets. 1 access code talker. I don't ever go into access code. There's really never a situation where I like access code talker for game because honestly, Tryhard is kind of like Tryhard's already gonna get you there. So like I don't really feel the need. Pistol is crazy. It's won me a game. Wins a lot of games. Super easy to go into. 1 Shinshin is crazy because you know everything's sent from the field, just Spanish instead. If your Kashtira are banished, you can get them back with the spell or the trap. So it's pretty nice. Vertram, if you're not playing this, if this isn't one of your super early targets, like you're kind of crazy because like even rogue decks now like will end on like 3 dark sometimes. I just don't know why. Like you can just suck up the whole board. Like it's pretty crazy. Like if you're not running this as one of your super early targets. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. You can do whatever you want. You can keep running Starving Venom. The only thing that sucks is you can't really super poly Kaleido Heart because it literally says can't be used as fusion material. So that's hilarious, but whatever. Drag Stapelia, because it's Drag Stapelia, it's super free. I actually super poly free game and went into Drag Stapelia, so it's kind of cool. And then last super poly target is Garua, Wings of Resonant Life. And that's it for the extra deck. Since I did just play this at locals, I'll just go through here. And I finished X1, so since I did, like, I'll just go ahead and go through my what I chose as a side deck. I think I have it right here beside me. My personal side deck was I ran 2. Sorry, they're not. I didn't sleeve them up in the Halloween zones yet. 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 2 of these, 2 Lightning Storms, 3 Evenly Match, 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. Yeah, so and then 2 Raigekis, and then I wasn't doing this, but I'm just gonna throw this in right now because I think I was siding DD Crow, and I've moved DD Crow to the main deck, so I'm just gonna put Parallel Exceed right here right now. But this can be anything. This can be like another Lightning Storm. This can be you know, another Lightning Storm, another Cosmic or something like that, or it could be like, you know, 3/3/3. That'd be kind of silly, but you know, it could be anything. You can side in another Imperm. You can, you know, put in a Decline. This card never came up. This literally never came up. It seems like the craziest card. It is, but like it just never came up, so I don't have it in. But that is pretty much it for that one. Please remember to like the video. If you like the video, even if you didn't. Comment down below which variant you want to see next. I'll literally drop some spice on you, and I will update it again once I change my ratios. So comment for that. Subscribe to the channel, because you know we're blowing up. We're trying to get to 1K, and remember, for our 600, we're gonna give away 1 pack of these. So comment down below. You only comment once. This time, only 1 comment is gonna, you know, be the entry. We'll put that in the description. Thanks for sticking with us, and we'll see you in the next one.